Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Minecraft Computer Quest. I'm back in my world, and there's been a few changes. There is now a book in this chest, and we have a few skeletal outlines of a few things here, so we're going to go through that. So today, we're going to be looking at some Boolean Algebra, as you can see here. So we're going to go through that. There's a book here with the basic information in it, and then we'll look at some the basic logic gates that you can do with Boolean Algebra. But before we do anything, I do have a wonderful new skin. I very much like it. It's got my logo, well, a version of my logo on the back, made by a very nice guy on the Planet Minecraft forums, so props to him. Might put a link in the description if I can find it. But yeah, so let's get started. Boolean Algebra. A lovely little book by Timbob12. Wonder who that is. Right, let's have a look in here. Hold on, there we go. Boolean algebra is a variant of normal algebra. Instead of using numbers or letters, however, it uses truth values, i.e. true or false. This can be written many different ways, including on or off and 0 or 1. Excuse me. So, on or off, 0 or 1. That's how truth values work. In Minecraft, this is done with redstone. For example, this redstone is not lit up, so therefore it is off. If you power it with something, it becomes on. Off, on, off, on, off. Simple. It can also be equated, so that's 1, that's 0, same as 1 on or off. That's about it for true or false, 1 or on. It's pretty simple, to be honest. Next page. In computers, Boolean algebra is used to describe the state of a circuit. So on or off again, like with the redstone. Redstone's basically electronic circuits in Minecraft. And these Boolean statements can be joined together with the wonderful thing we know and love as logic gates to make something actually works and does something. So logic gates allow us to do stuff. Pretty much every redstone creation is a logic gate of some kind. But yeah. They're all fairly simple, well, the ones I'm going to show you anyway, in this series. But they can be chained together to make huge things like arithmetic logic units. So basically the very, very basics, the basis of a computer is logic gates. So the three simplest gates are not, or, and. We're going to start with the not gate, it's pretty much the simplest. It has an alternative name, which is the inverter. So logic gates take an input. They can take any number of inputs, but they will always provide normally one output. With the not gate, what happens is it takes one input and gives one output. In this case, it takes an input and it inverts the input. So if it's on, the output will be off. If the input is on, if the input is off, the output will be on. So it's fairly simple. Done a little table. X is your input, so if your input's 0, your output's going to be 1. If your input is 1, your output's going to be 0. Fairly simple. But we like simple things here. They make our lives easier. So, where you build a NOT gate or an inverter, in a block, with a torch on the other side. This is your output, this torch. Some redstone there. And then, so the minute this redstone is off, so this torch is on, so input is 0, output is 1. Put a torch here. This is your input. Input is on, output is off. Fairly simple. It's actually a NOT gate. One thing to note about logic gates is they need to be set up so that this wire is going directly into it. For example, if I did this wire here, then it's going to be on, because this block isn't receiving power from that because it's not going in. You can also do this with repeaters as well, if I just grab a repeater. See, if we had a repeater here, that ensures that any input coming into here, into there, will ensure that it goes straight into the block. But if that's there anyway, as long as it's going straight in, then it will be powered. So you got, yes, that's the NOT gate, fairly simple. On, off, off, on. What's up next? Next, the OR gate is another fairly simple one, and it takes two inputs this time, but it provides an output that as long as at least one of the inputs is true, then the output will be true. So, again, fairly simple. So the only time the output is false is if there's no input at all. This is saying if one of the inputs is on, then the output will be on. If one of the inputs is on, the output will be on. Or if both of them are on, then it will be on. So how do we build one of these? Nope, we put a piston in the middle there. Nope, that's a book. Piston in the middle. And redstone either side. So these are our two inputs. The piston is going to show us whether we have an output, because when a piston is powered, it moves like that. So, if none of them are on the piston, there is no output. If one is on, there is an output. If the other one is on, there is an output. Or if they're both on, there's still an output. Again, fairly simple stuff. I'm actually going to leave these torches in place for now. So this is the OR gate. It's very basic. You can also have that in sort of a... This is the gate itself almost, but technically, yeah, fairly simple. And lastly, but certainly not least, is this one, which is the AND gate. Slightly more complicated, but still not too difficult. These are probably the most useful, bar maybe the NOT gate, which is the inverter. But the AND gate takes two inputs, but it will only provide an output if both inputs are true. Otherwise the output will always be false. As you can see here, no inputs, no output. One input, no output. One input, no output. Both inputs, one output. So we build this, 3 blocks there, torch on either side, redstone dust in the middle. These are your two inputs. Then here is our output, piston there, that shows our output. So, no inputs, no output. One input, no output. One input, no output. Two inputs, then we get an output. Because this torch is our output here. So yeah, that's the AND gate. It's probably, I'm going to go over a little bit of how these actually work, because it's important to understand why they do what they do. Now the mechanic in the game is that if a redstone torch is powered, it will turn off, which is the inverter. This one doesn't really count, but the way the AND gate works is because these are joined together, these will directly affect this torch here. So if there's only one input, only one of the torches will be turned off. So this one will still power this one, which will turn off this one and not provide an output. And if there's none on, they'll both be on. If only one of them's on, then there'll still be one to turn off this torch here and limit the output. If they're both on, then these both turn off, so there's nothing stopping this torch from lighting up, so we have an output. Fairly simple. Now you can also invert the output of this, so that truth table, this one is the other way around, so it's probably easier if I show you. So if we take this out and put that in there, the output will only be off if both inputs are on. So if both inputs are on, then the output will be off. Every other time, the output will always be on. That's just pretty much just building in an inverter. But yeah, so that's the first part of the Minecraft Computer Quest, Boolean Algebra. Yeah, the Minecraft Computer Quest. Subscribe, like, comment, favourite, whatever you people do that keeps me making videos. I'll keep this series going anyway. I like this series. It's a good series. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!